Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are playing a mid-range Simic pile. Basically Simic ramp that utilizes Invoke the Winds. It's a standard best of one list with average converted mana cost 3.7, 18 non-creatures, 17 creatures, and 25 lands. Now, let's break down the list and get down to the small combo that there is within this list. So we start with 2 Bind the Monster. Within the Simic colors, you guys probably realize that there's little to no removal, so you need all that you can get to survive basically and get to your big top end and win the game. So against a lot of creature decks, and like I think 60% of the meta is like white creatures, you need to survive, right? And you want to have those creatures not hit you and kill you as fast as possible. So Bind the Monster, you'd rather take damage once from that creature and then just bind it, right? Tap it. Has to be good. We also run 1 Bubble Snare. You can cast it for its kicker. It taps a creature and doesn't untap during its control's untap step, or if they attacked you with that creature on your turn, you can cast this card and tap their creature. Also, we run 2 Syncopate. I would rather probably run like 2 Bubble Snares and 1 Syncopate, but I ran 2 Syncopate and 1 Bubble Snare like that because we just need to play a little better against control. Control can really devastate us. This deck is made to battle creature decks, and since the majority of the meta are creature decks, those games against control you will probably lose, because anything that has blue in it, they run counter spells, you're just pretty much dead. Also, Farewell is a thing, so your coma, even the fact that it can't be countered, can easily be removed, right? So Syncopate, Decisive Denial would act as your protection or counter spells of choice. Then we get to our first ramp card, Prosperous Innkeeper. Gives you treasure, fixes your mana pretty well. It can make a lot of things easily castable. Also, it's a pretty good 2-drop. It's a creature as well, which can block, so very good. Decisive Denial. We use this mainly for like the fight aspect of it, the fight spell, because once we cast our big top ends or like a Quandrix Cultivator, we can kill something with that if we have a creature, or we can use it as a counter spell, so it has to be good. Also, we run Dragon Turtle, 2 of them, turn 3 or 4, or whenever you want, basically. Very, very good tempo, very good stats. 3 mana, 3/5, has flash, pretty good. Came in handy a lot of times. Also, we run 4 Field Trip, and we utilize the sideboard as well. A lot of green colors in the mana base, but also majority is blue. We also run 1 Consuming Tide. I'd probably run 2 if I had to, but I didn't. So 1 Consuming Tide is very good. A lot of tempo, returns a lot of things to hand. You pick one thing that remains on the battlefield and your opponent does the same thing, so pretty good. And 4 Quandrix Cultivator, so you can see that turn 2 you have ramp, turn 3 you have ramp, turn 4 you can have ramp, so that it speeds up the process of you casting your top end very quickly. Also, we run 2 Invoke the Winds. Invoke the Winds is like one of the more underwhelming invoke cards in my opinion, but it came pretty good, and I think I like it a lot against runes, because people just tend to overinvest on one creature, and once that happens, you can just easily steal that creature. So that's where it's like fun and good. Actually, you just let them invest. They're going to hit you, of course, because you don't have a creature big enough that can take the block or kill their creature. So if they tend to overinvest on one creature, you can just cast Invoke the Winds, steal that creature, and just they probably have Rune of Sustenance on it, the one with lifelink, so you can probably gain all the life back. So I like Invoke the Winds in this deck. Pretty good tempo as well, and you can see a lot of things that battle creatures, a lot of things, or as much as Simic can anyway. So Invoke the Winds, pretty fun card nonetheless, you know, despite that it's very underpowered, I would say. But yeah, I think this card would be a little overpowered if it can steal Planeswalkers. It would definitely be one of my most favorite invokes if it can steal Planeswalkers, but it doesn't. It's just creature or artifact. The artifact usually is Bankbuster, and the creature is whatever you know, that's the biggest threat that they have. So very good card. We were on 2 Kyrie, and that's the combo that I was talking about. So you cast Invoke, it doesn't get exiled, it just remains in the graveyard. You cast Kyrie. Whenever Kyrie dies, you mill 6 cards, then you can return up to 2 instant and or sorcery cards from your graveyard to hand. So you can return Invoke the Winds back to hand and cast it again, which has to be really good. You can return Decisive Denial and fight something again. You can return a ramp card and access your sideboard. You know, it's very, very good. But that's mainly the combo that I was talking about, which is Kyrie and Invoke the Winds. And pretty much any Invoke card with Kyrie is just such a good combo, right? Especially like Invoke Despair. It has to be really good, right? We also run 2 Cyclone Summoner as our insurance policies. But you might say like, oh, Cyclone Summoner and Invoke the Winds are a bad synergy, and they are eventually, because if you've cast Invoke the Winds, you've stolen, you know, a creature from your opponent, and then you cast Cyclone Summoner, it goes back to their hand. But at the same time, it's very important to have Cyclone Summoner in a Simic deck, and you can kind of time it. So if you know you're going to cast Invoke the Winds, or you're able to cast Cyclone Summoner, just cast the Summoner first, then cast the Invoke the Winds after, just so when they cast like a blocker or a big creature, you can take it after you've actually put the summoner down. But the summoner has to be in here because we ramp a lot, and ramping into something that clears the board in a sense is very important, despite the fact that you have Invoke the Winds. Yes, they're bad synergies, but it's our insurance policy, and Simic needs all the help that it can get. Cyclone Summoner has to be in here actually. So 2 Seagate Restorations, mainly, you know, use them for lands, but at the same time it's our only draw card, well, besides Teachings. But yeah, it can be very good, especially in the late game, to refuel your hand. So Seagate Restoration, we can cast it easy. You know, we go for a lot of blue mana, so why not, right? We also have Colossal Sky Turtle, mainly to just, you know, continue to do this combo right here, right? Which is to return either a Kyrie and cast a Kyrie again to get an Invoke the Winds again, or you can just play it as a tempo card and return a creature back to their hand, right? And if you know you have the mana, you have nothing in the graveyard for you to return, you can just hard cast it. It has ward, it has flying, decent stats, not the best, but decent stats nonetheless. Then we finish it off with 2 Coma, Cosmos Serpent. The card speaks for itself. Farewell makes the card a little less better. Honestly, like, I mean, what do you run instead of Coma, right? That's going to be better than Coma. Hullbreaker Horror would be bad in this deck because we don't have a Hullbreaker Horror shell. You know, Hullbreaker Horror requires a lot of cheap instants and sorceries, mainly instants, and we don't have that at the moment. Also, if you run like a Jinkataxius, it's very underwhelming. It has no board presence. Yes, it can counter stuff, but it can easily be dealt with. And I feel like it's easier to deal with that than Coma. Coma is just a game ender. If they don't have the right answers for Coma, and you actually get to have the coil, and they don't have like a farewell, it's not a white deck, for example, or you know, it's a white deck that has creatures, it's just game over, right? Coma is game over unless you have removal for it. So yeah, we within the sideboard we run 2 Hall, 6 Islands, 2 Otawara, 2 Boseiju, 5 Forests, 2 Pathways, 2 Dual Lands, 2 Snarls, and 2 Field of Ruins. And within our sideboard we run 2 Environmental Sciences, 1 Teachings, 1 Basic Conjuration, 1 Containment Breach, 1 Introduction to Annihilation as like extra reach and extra removal, just in case we need to remove something, mainly a Planeswalker, I would say, and 1 Mascot Exhibition for the late game as well. So that does it for the deck. It's pretty straightforward. I wouldn't say the deck is like a meta killer or anything like that, but the deck definitely performs very, very well against creature decks. And since the meta right now revolves a lot around creature decks, the deck performs well. And now, when it comes to control, you're going to struggle a lot, especially if it's, well, mainly people that run control. You rarely see like Dimir control or like Grixis control. All you see is basically like either Azorius control or Esper control, which Esper and Azorius have the right removal for your deck, while Grixis and Dimir don't. So Dimir does not have like a good board wipe for the Coma. Probably just a Meat Hook Massacre, and that's going to take a lot of time, and by that time your Coma would survive. Although Dimir and Grixis have spot removals, better spot removals than Azorius, so it's kind of 50-50, but if you're playing against Azorius and Esper, you'll lose pretty badly, I believe, and that's why I tried to run 2 more Syncopates to stop their card draw, to stop their removal if you have something that you need to protect. But yeah, this deck is made to go against creature decks. Mono white on the play, if they drew like the god draw, which is like probably like Thalia and like Elite Spellbinder, and then like a Adeline or something, it can be pretty bad for you, especially if they're on the play. But at the same time, drawing the Thalia should not matter that much, because the point is like we're not running a lot of instants and sorceries. We do have creatures. We have a lot of creatures actually. So that was my main point of running Dragon Turtle, is the fact that I don't want to get taxed necessarily by a Thalia and get put way behind. A little tempo with a creature sounds good, right? And also your early on removal is pretty cheap, so you can still cast it no matter what they have on the battlefield, right? So yeah, you can probably survive if you drew good as well. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the list. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. It's been pretty fun to play the deck, and Simic is always the most challenging to make work. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video. It'll help me out greatly. And with that being said, I'll see you later with another video. Okay, bye. All right, damn. Yikes. I mean, we just have to top deck with this one. If we don't, then yeah, I'll keep the Cyclone Summoner just in case. But yeah, pretty unfortunate here, but you know, it's okay. I'm feeling kind of lucky. We do need the ramp, so we do have a lot of ramp spells in the deck, so alright, Innkeeper. So it's mono white. We have to ramp into the Cyclone Summoner. We just have to. But if they play like a Spellbinder, which I'm pretty sure they will, it's going to be quite difficult. All day I'm taking that. I mean, all day. Okay. Sure. Archon of Emeria. Sure. I'll actually take the 1 damage. But having them replay that is much better for us. Just keep taking the lands. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah? Sure. My turn. Pass. So we have 7 mana technically. They're going to replay the Archon, I believe. Yeah, that's fine. Next turn we're going to take a lot of damage as well. It's been rather slow for a mono white deck like that, but it's fine. That's perfect. That is perfect. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. We can even cast the Seagate Restoration, I believe. Can we? Yeah, over here is when we take tons of damage, right? Damn, I should have done that before, but it's fine. I'm gonna keep it. Okay. Sure. I think next turn we attack with the Hall of Storm Giants. Brutal Cathar. Yeah. Sure. Never mind that. Maybe bait them into attacking with the Brutal Cathar. Cultivator. I don't think so just yet. Let's play the Cultivator here. Get a blue. Also, we have Boseiju here, which is not bad. But I do want to keep some cards in hand for the Seagate Restoration. Another removal. They're attacking. Wow. Okay. So what would you have? A Ganjo. Sure. That's fine by me. Usher. Sure. Consuming Tide. They'll get the Brutal Cathar back, we'll get the Cyclone Summoner, but it won't matter because they're going to play the Brutal Cathar again. So we take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7, 8, 9. We'll be down to 3. I don't think that's pretty... Yeah. Let's just try to pass here. Try to bait them into using the Hall. We have to kill the Brutal Cathar before we return things to hand. That way we get the Cyclone Summoner back. But I don't think they're going to fall into it, right? Oh, they are. Opponent. They must have something. Like Valor Stance? Fateful Absence? Oh, it's just that? That's fine. We blocked that. They fell for it, seems like. Maybe they have Indestructible? They do have something here, but... Yeah, Cyclone Summoner doesn't return anything to hand because, well, you know. Maybe they have another Brutal Cathar. And if that's the case, then they didn't fall for anything. Cave. We need to deal with the cave. Archon of Myria. Okay. Alright. So if we play Seagate Restoration, we have 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. That'll leave us with 1 mana open. 1 creature on there, and they still have the cave. Well, a lot of creatures on there, and so I don't think we can play that just yet. I think we have to go for the Consuming Tide here. Okay. I think we're gonna need to deal with that cave, to be honest. So, let's play the Consuming Tide. Nice. Otawara is not bad. Alright, let's attack here. Start putting on some pressure. I really don't want to play any more lands, but we're going to have to play Boseiju here. Definitely. Sure. That's fine. They can't invest on the cave here just yet. If they attack with the Archon, I think they're pretty dead, right? They can play some blockers here, but it's not going to be enough for them. Force them to block with both of them, or maybe just one. Cultivator. So if we attack with one, they'll just chomp and then they can kill us pretty much, right? Because they have one, we have 5, 6, 7. It needs 6 mana for the So I think our best bet for now is to just attack with the Cyclone Summoner. Play the Cultivator. Pass. We're not gonna, use the Seagate Restoration pretty well. And it's pretty much been a dead card. But let's see what they want to go for. It's been close, for sure. I mean, that has to be super good for us. That puts them way back, way back. Has to be very good for us. Yep. You can get a land, but then you can't even attack with the Usher. Yeah, that's very good for us. Yeah, blockers, blockers, blockers. That's fine. Fading Hope, sure. And that's game. Because they know we can attack with the Hall. Alright, this hand is like the most terrible hand that you can get. There's almost no payoff for your ramp because this creature kind of sucks when you cast it as a creature. Because it's 7 mana, it's terrible, but lands are good. You know? They lead off with a Field of Ruin. Okay. Alright. Oh, they're really slow. Sure. We drew all of our green sources. Getting teachings was a terrible idea. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Thank you. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Oh, Abzan, okay. But why are you so slow? Another Field of Ruin. How do people get away with playing Field of Ruin in a 3-color deck? I just have no clue. I really have no clue. How do you get away with playing Field of Ruin in a 3-color deck? And you play basics. 4 colors. 4 colors. This must have been the first time that our opponent managed to hit all their colors. 4 basics. That's kind of crazy. I mean, we're just chilling here. Soren. Yeah, they can pay 3, sure.
I take no joy in the slaughter.
Sure.
Necessary work.
Bank Buster.
Dire tide
Let's actually take that
dire
Bank Buster.
tactics.
Please play it. They're not going to play it. Why not? They want to draw off of it right away. So they're going to have to deal with this. Has Ward too, but doesn't matter. They have mana. But I'm just very surprised that they're running 4 colors almost. Yeah, they are running 4 colors. And they have so many basics and Field of Ruins. Like, that's insane. Like, how many?
You deal with this annoyance.
How many can you run? Alright.
I won't let this be over.
Alright, we're at 5. They're at 5. They're going to kill our Field of Ruin here, so... That's pretty good. I do want the Bank Buster, but since they're going to draw a lot off of it, we only had 1 chance to take it, so do we have him hit a land drop? Do we give him a draw off of the Bank Buster? I don't think so. Sure. So if they go for a pretty big Meat Hook Massacre, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 mana. So even if they would go for like a farewell, we can't counter that because they can pay the mana for it. Vorinclex. I would love to take that. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. What a weird pile from our opponent here, huh? Alright, let's get another blue. Let's take that Vorinclex. No counter magic. They do run blue, but it's tapped. Probably around March? Is that March? Well, no matter what it is, we can still counter it with Decisive Denial. Yep. Nice. Yeah. Taking the Vorinclex is devastating. Alright. Alright, let's try this. Hopefully we can top deck more lands, I hope. We're literally running such a little number of like expensive cards and we're drawing all of them. Alright. Get a blue source, no attacks. Okay, so it seems like it's werewolves. We'll see what we can do here. Tovlar, sure. No attacks. Decisive Denial. We can't pass. No attacks. Another Ranger class. Activate the Ranger class. Yeah. But you can't attack. Not yet. They double block. So we can make a play with the Consuming Tide here. Return a Cultivator to hand to ramp some more. I mean, do we let this through? Probably not. They take one of them though. Is that fine by us? I guess so. Even if they get it up to like a 6/6, it'll still die. Okay, so they're killing both of them. Yeah. Man, that's lucky. That's just lucky. Tovlar. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have Kyrie next turn. Let's just take all of that out of their hand. All of whatever they have. Another inscription. Let's just take it all of... Okay, so nothing. Good. That's pretty good. Field trip. Slam the Kyrie here. Has ward. Pretty tough for them to deal with. We can always field trip next time. Next turn, if we top deck a land, an untapped one, we can play Coma. And that has to be a good game, right? Very hard for them to deal with. They're attacking. Yeah, 5/5, so they have burn damage. We take the block, of course. I'd love to kill a Tovolar. We have another Kyrie. Not really worried. So we can get back a decisive denial, or we can return stuff to hand. I think I'll take the mill. Yeah, they're thinking about it. It's a 7/7. Okay. L6 cards. Sure. Dragon Turtle. So we milled the Cyclone Summoner. Another Dragon Turtle. Okay. So I think the play here is to just field trip, get Mascot Exhibition, and we just Dragon Turtle. We have 1, 2, 3. Stormseeker is fine. We can counter that. No, we can't. Okay. So, they're going to get a card. Yeah, they're going to get a card, and that's fine. We can kill the Stormseeker next turn. But I think I do want to play the Mascot Exhibition. Okay. Yeah, they do get a card. Yep. Oh, so they flip to nighttime. Alright. So, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can play Kyrie. That doesn't untap next turn. Kill the Stormseeker so that they don't flip to nighttime. I like that idea. Because if they have 3 werewolves, Tovolar allows them to flip. Tovolar is such an amazing boss creature, right? It has tons of value. We still have a lot of power in hand. Avabruck though. Avabruck. So it's a 6/6. So what do we do in this case? We return everything to hand? Sure. Oh, we can't target. So how do we beat that? How do we beat that? We cannot target, so I mean, we have to take Tovolar. We have to. But we also have to get Koma down as fast as possible. I thought it just bounces anyway, but I didn't read the card right. It says target non-land permanents. Okay. Naturalist, sure. Bubble Snare. Interesting. Interesting. So they're investing on the Reckless Stormseeker. It says other, right? Another target creature you control. So that's pretty good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8. These are both 7 mana. We also have Syncopate. We can counter something that's relatively big. Yeah. We can play Consuming Tide. But no, I don't want them to get any wolves out of that, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's cast it for kicked. Nice. Okay, so we're still in this, definitely. Okay. Avabrook has to... They have to turn it to nighttime. Yeah. Yeah, they have to. But in that case... Do we attack with the Tovolar first? We need to double spell. Let's attack with the Tovolar first. Hopefully we can draw something that we can use to double spell. Decisive Denial. Okay. We can't allow it to turn into nighttime. They're just going to get really big. Keep the Tovolar. Okay. Play the Innkeeper here. Nice. Nice. Treasure is good with Tovolar. And we can make some plays here. So they have 2 ranger classes, a naturalist. We can counter something, we can kill something with decisive denial. First ranger class, sure. Let it resolve. That's fine. Let's see what they go for here. Second ranger class is fine. And we just have so many things to tap, right? Okay. That's fine. Okay. That is okay. Alright. So what we do here Is it time for Coma? We'll be left with 3 mana. We can tap that as well. Attack with Tovolar. Okay. Let's attack first. Haul. Yeah, I mean it has to be Coma. So that we can tap their creatures and just win. We also still have a fight spell in hand. Man, these fight spells have been amazing. Literally amazing. And just the Kyrie Invoke the Winds combo is just insane. Yeah, so this is pretty much game. They can get the Avabruck as big as they want. It's not gonna matter. Sure. They're not gonna attack, which is fine. Okay. Tap that. So we have 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. And that's insane. Alright, bind the monster. That's game. That is game. For sure. Good game. That was nice. That was good.